March 8th is International Women's Day, and this year we received a call from women in Gaza who said that their situation has become desperate, that there is a lack of food, medicines, clean drinking water, electricity. The world has abandoned them, and they put a call out to the women's community globally saying, come and be with us on International Women's Day. As CODEPINK, we decided to organize the U.S. delegation, and we hooked up with people in France, Belgium, in Australia, the UK, Ireland, to put together 100 women to go to Gaza. Our only way to go was through Egypt because the Israelis wouldn't let us in. We started working with the Egyptian government, the foreign ministries, the embassies in our own country. They asked us for lots of information, which we gave them. The profiles of everybody going, the passport information, the photos. And they said, as long as the situation is not too dangerous in the Sinai, they will help us get safely to the border with Rafah and make sure the border was open for us to go through. We had every reason to believe that we would be welcomed in Egypt. I went early as part of the people organizing the logistics, and on March 3rd, when I arrived at the airport in Cairo, I was taken aside and put in a separate room. First I was told, no problem, just checking the papers, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. Well, hours and hours and hours went by, and from that holding cell, I was put into an overnight jail where I was kept until the morning. The morning time came, and 5 plainclothes people came in with handcuffs and said, come with me, we're putting you on a plane and deporting you to Turkey. Now, the entire time that I was being held, I was desperately trying to contact the U.S. Embassy. And through my colleagues in Cairo, I got word that the embassy was on their way, that just wait 10 more minutes. And I said, if you wait 10 more minutes, my embassy will be here. We can see what kind of miscommunication, what kind of problems there's been, and solve this. Instead of allowing me to wait 10 minutes, they grabbed me violently, threw me on the ground, put their knees into my back, yanked my arms back so violently that I heard a pop of my arm coming out of its shoulder, put 2 sets of handcuffs on me, and started dragging me. When I was screaming out of pain, they took my scarf and stuffed it into my mouth and dragged me through the halls of the airport to a waiting Turkish airline plane where they wanted to throw me on the plane. I was in such pain from a dislocated shoulder, you could see the bone just sticking up in the air, that they finally called an ambulance. 2 doctors arrived, young women. They said, this woman is not fit to get on a plane, we have to take her to the hospital. The Egyptian security would not let me go to the hospital, instead threw me on the plane, and the 2 men who were the worst abusers were sitting on either side of me on the plane. And I was screaming.
It was going to Turkey.
Going to Turkey. I was screaming out of so much pain that finally the stewardesses asked if there was any doctor on the plane. To my great first piece of luck, there was an orthopedic surgeon on the plane who created a bed and operating the room right in the hallway of the plane, got the stewards to assist and performed an operation of putting my arm back in its socket, gave me painkillers, a shot, oral medicines that it put me out of my misery until we got to Turkey, where I was taken to a hospital there and did have a chance for the first time to see the embassy officials and recount my harrowing experience.
The embassy, our embassy officials?
The U.S. Embassy in Turkey. I never saw anybody from the U.S. Embassy in Cairo. Came back to the United States the next day, and I'm getting very good medical treatment thanks to a lot of solidarity of people, including from the medical community. But there are several points I want to make in this. One is to say that we wanted the main focus to be on Gaza and what is happening to the women and the people there, and somehow we want to turn what happened to us into a story of what we weren't allowed to see in Gaza and how the spotlight should really be on them. And secondly, the spotlight should be on the people of Egypt who are now suffering from a government that came to power through a coup and has either killed or jailed thousands and thousands of Egyptians. So what was done to me, if they were so brutal with an American citizen, a 61-year-old woman who's dedicated her life to peace and is a very petite woman. Imagine what they're doing to their own citizens. And I have since discovered that I'm on a list where I was considered a national security threat to the Egyptian state. So thirdly, I would like to know from my own government why they didn't come to my rescue, and two, why do we continue to give $1.5 billion a year to a government that is so abusive of its own people and so abusive of American citizens as well. And lastly, I'd like to say for International Women's Day that I send much love and greetings to the women of Gaza, and I'm really upset that we never had a chance to go there. We really feel all of the women, many of whom got stuck in the airport, some of whom made it to Cairo but never to Gaza, that we have really disappointed the women of Gaza, and we send our heartfelt love and regrets that we're not there with them on a very important day for women all over the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Medea.